Papa, 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 papa. That's the papa in my calliope. That's too much. You went heavy on the Les Paul marching powder. Okay. Okay. Alrighty then. It's Tuesday, Tuesday, Tuesday. The day that time forgot. That's right, friends. I don't want to get Les Paul marching powder all over my appendages. Welcome back to Treehouse Concert number 31. Yes, collect all 31. Be the first on your block to own all 31 of these. No, you don't have to do. You don't have to own. There's nothing to buy. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited. Write us a song, Bill, and invite the mysteries of love and language, of art and honesty. We know they're in there, but just itching to get free. So write us a song, Bill, and invite the mysteries. Write us a song, Bill. Isn't that what you do? There's a lonesome guitar sitting right next to you. He's good for a few words, maybe a melody or two. So write us a song, Bill. Isn't that what you do? Write us a song, Bill, like you did when we were young, back when the best words were waiting to be sung, back when the people weren't feeling so outgunned. Go write us a song, Bill, like you did when we were young. Write us a song, Bill, an upbeat little tune that'll stick to the eardrums as we move from room to room. Sweet inspiration, it cannot come too soon. So write us a song, Bill, an upbeat little tune. Write us a song, Bill. How hard can it be? Just use your brain, son, and your bachelor's degree. What was it good for? Can you explain that to me? Explain it in a song, Bill. How hard can it be? Write us a song, Bill. We're running out of sun. This party's dying. We need to start another one. We need to strategize on what is to be done. So write us a song, Bill. We're running out of sun. Well, you wrote us a song, Bill. Thank the mysteries of love and language and generosity. We knew you were in there, just itching to get free. You wrote us a song, Bill. Thank the mysteries, thank the mysteries, thank the mysteries. There you go. Welcome back to the Treehouse. It's just me tonight. I know. I'm still suffering from withdrawal symptoms from the me and Jim Page bit from last week. What are you going to do, though? You know? You're going to say, hey, Cam and Pete. I even used the right hand that time. Pretty cool, huh? Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, Ma. I can't call her Mom. I got to call her Ma. Ma. Timitra. Always kind of flares the light, that makes the light go weird when I hold up the Timitra mug. Probably because it has magical powers. Went heavy on something in that mystery beverage. And the mother of all mugs, the Twist River Pub Mug. The Pug Mug. Thank you to Rick Lewis for this. And all my friends up in the Meadow. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, my friends up in the Meadow. What's it all about, people? What's going on? How's everybody doing? Everybody got through the first of the holiday sequence, the sequence of holiday times. Ooh. Well, I'm telling you, I got some pain going on. I tweaked my neck today, doing something I probably shouldn't have been doing. No, I was doing my yoga. But, I was feeling all buff and, macho. You know how I am. And I think I overstretched a little bit. Yeah, I think I was doing some cat-cows. And I went a little, with too much of this and too much of that. Too much of something. But what can you do? You just go, you just do what you just got to, it has to be what it is. And then I got Les Paul marching powder all over everything. Thanks to J.W. McClure, by the way, for the Les Paul marching powder. Did I say Les Schwab marching powder? I believe I hear the subtle innuendo that is the rattling of the hand entering the scene. Other, it is the hand. Always smells so lovely, the hand. Thank you, hand. What we got here? What's going on? What we got? We got Annie and Robert. Annie and Robert Landerholm Burke. Welcome, you guys. That's my cousin Annie and her husband Robert. These people. They've been listening to me play and sing since, we were all like, there's just no accounting for taste. Tim and Demetra are here. Bill Willem, of course. Val Sanford is here. Cindy Snyder is here. Holly Tuttle and Kim Nelson. All the usual suspects. Rochelle Hamill is back. Thank you, Rochelle. Rick Lewis was here to hear my thanks for the mug. I always forget to thank Rick. Mark Kenny is here. Was that Kendra or Kelly? Kathy and Lawrence are here. Either Kendra Shank or Kelly Murphy is here because Diane made a check mark right on the line. Maybe they're both here. I hope they're both here. It's probably Kelly. Kendra's back in New York City, so she may not stay up this late. On a school night, I mean. Where's Henry? How come Henry's not here? This is a school night. Probably for Henry. Welcome all you folks. Thanks for coming back. If this is your first time you're here, that's fine. I won't ask you to share this to your timeline until it's over. Then you can decide, depending on whether you've had a good time or not. Then you can share it later to your timeline. But sharing it to your timeline, it's like the thing you can do. That isn't. You don't have to hit up the tip jar every week, really. But sharing it to your timeline, that means you have enough confidence in this that you're willing to have all the rest of your Facebook friends see it, which I know. That's why I say wait till the end. That's fine. Just don't forget. Write yourself a note now, so that you remember. Okay, I'll quit yammering here, forthwith. Okay. Breaking silences and raising up the shades. Love's begun to float, but it doesn't drift away. Letting the ego slip and letting the slip show. What magic tears it open, you can never know. But you're grateful for the energy, the constancy, the healing course. To the one in three, the Trinity, or just nature's sudden force.
you're grateful. Talking to yourself is how it must begin. Until the shell is cracked, there's no light coming in. And when the rooms are lit, there's pictures on the walls. They speak a million tales, but they don't tell it all. So you're grateful for the pen in hand, the music stand, the swollen page, for the graying strands, the grains of sand, the sight that comes with age. You're grateful. And I know why you come here again and again and again. It's to outrun your one fear, and the voice that's shouting silence in your ear cannot find you here. Breaking silences and raising up the shades. Love's begun to float, but it doesn't drift away.
Well, not flawless, but I lived. Yeah, I decided that if I can get through the opening, the opening like 8 bars of that tune, I can pretty much nail it. And it was just kind of pretty much, not all the way. These two guys are still, they're not playing fair. They're not getting along like they used to. But what are you gonna do? If it ain't the MS, it's old age. You know, one of the two. Or it's my neck. It could be my neck. Yeah. My neck. It's a pain in the neck not being able to play that tune as well as I'd like. But what are you going to do? What are you going to... Do you... The rattling, the distant, and ever closer rattling of... Hello. You're back. And you're front, too. Wait, let me hit the backside. The Vernons are here. Tim, Sherry, and Frank. Langley Davis is in the house. Are you still up in Alaska, Langley? Yes. Cindy Clark is here. Joseph Webb is here. Welcome, you guys. Man, that's sweet. Was there anything on the back? No love notes on the back? Oh, well. Thanks, you guys. It's pretty fun when, you know, we got a quorum and everything. We can proceed. The secretary will now read the minutes of our last meeting. Hello, I'm Bill, and I'm a songwriter. Hi, Bill. Okay. All right. Where are we at? So I got a mixed bag of stuff tonight. I'm not sure why. I don't think there's a theme. If you were looking for a theme, you're probably at the wrong live stream. Sorry. You don't have to share me your timeline if you were looking for a theme. Other than, you know, kind of scungy clothes and, you know, not perfect guitar playing and stuff like that. That's an ongoing theme here in the treehouse. I try not to dress up too much because it's, you know, I want to be folk. And the headband, yeah, and that's just evidence of hair that is outgrown its manageability. You know, it's still supple and manageable and mostly still there, but it's a little out of control. It's kind of like, you know, quack grass or something like that. It's just out of control. You got a runner roots all over the place. They go out there and they just spring up, and there you go. Try and dig them out over here, they spring up over there. What are you going to do? You got hairs coming out places like this, and the earlobes, and the, weird little neck things. Okay, enough about being old. Where am I? Where am I? How did I lose control? I don't know. I don't know. There are some things that I do know, though.
Old men are shadows of the way things should have been. On my back porch we gather to review the wheres and whens. We were not bred for idle time, yet we don't feel ill at ease. 'Cause we can dance around the laughing eyes of the ones we still seem to please. Yeah, we're deep in the third act, close to the fire and the coal sack, like old Abednego and Shadrach, or the moths on the sill. It means we still got the climax, and all the stuff that happens after that. Exchange the hot for the cold facts, just like we probably will. Old men are shadows of the dreams that made them young. Our children climb the ladders while we brace the bottom rungs. It's a long day mending fences, but it pays well in the end. 'Cause we can dance around the laughing eyes in the arms of our best friends. Yeah, we're deep in the third act, close to the fire and the coal sack, like old Abednego and Shadrach, or the moths on the sill. It means we still got the climax, and all the stuff that happens after that. Exchange the hot for the cold facts, just like we probably will. We were made fools by money, sold that comfort comes with time. We've been lied to by a system that was built on other crimes. We were fooled by the mirror when it made us look so trim and young. Oh, but love's never made a fool of us, other than a willing one. Old men are shadows of the way things should have been. On my back porch we gather to review the wheres and whens. It's a long day mending fences, but it pays well in the end. 'Cause we can dance around the laughing eyes in the arms of our best friends. Yeah, we're deep in the third act, close to the fire and the coal sack, like old Abednego and Shadrach, or the moths on the sill. It means we still got the climax, and all the stuff that happens after that. Exchange the hot for the cold facts, just like we probably will. It means we still got the climax, and all the stuff that happens after that. Exchange the hot for the cold facts, just like we probably will. Exchange the hot for the cold, just like we probably will.
Old Married Men, that's called. That's from the Night Sky Situation. The Night Sky Situation, which came out a little over a year ago. It's been a year. Can't call it the new album anymore. It's a year old, you know? That means it's starting the terrible twos. Oh no. Thank you, Rick Lewis. Appreciate the applause. More? Wait. What's... Was a hit and run. Uh-oh. Oh, Langley's in Colville. Bill Kaufman is here. Ken and Julie Higgins are here. Hi, Ken and Julie. Monica Holverstadt, who had a birthday last week, I believe. Langley Davis and Kim Nelson have been sick with a cold, even though they're in different towns. Langley, that's Kim. Kim, Langley, Kim. Langley's in Colville. That's a long way from Vashon Island. How did this happen? Perhaps they've been corresponding. I don't know. I don't know how these things happen. But glad it was just a cold for both of you. Really, truly, I am. I want to play a song for my friend Bill Woolham. I want to play it for his sister Christy. But I don't think she's here tonight. Maybe you can tell her I played it for her, Bill. In memory of Everett.
Raise your heart from the floor of death to a lasting picture, to the final breath. The way she turned when the lamp was lit, to how you stood by and weathered it. We fall together when we fall apart. Is there a reason to raise your heart? Raise your heart. Raise your heart from the aching day to autumn's colors as they blow away. From blowing pages, spinning clocks, the fall of water onto fallen rocks. They fall together when they fall apart, to each a season. So raise your heart. Raise your heart from a cage of bone to a breakfast table where you're not alone. From passion's moment, a wealth of blood, a tear of feeling, and then a flood. It falls together when it falls apart, each new beginning. So raise your heart, raise your heart. It falls together when it falls apart, this new beginning. So raise your heart, raise your heart, raise your heart.
That's for Everett and Christy. Hoppa-dopa. There you go, people. Where are we at? Who we got? Annie. Katrina! Ah, goodness gracious. Goodness gracious. Let's see. I'm burning through them is what I'm doing. Burning through them. Where's Mr. Temporary? There he is. Diane wanted to hear this one. Yeah. I don't know if she knew I was going to play it on Mr. Temporary, though. I don't know. Oh, boy. Excuse me. I'm going to need to do this every once in a while tonight. Yeah. Stiffage and storage. Old guy stuff, you know. It's one of the ongoing themes. Oh, there is a theme. And I was worried. There wasn't a theme. This is an Eric Taylor song. It's the only Eric Taylor song I play. It's called Two Fires. Saw Eric Taylor do this at the Kerrville Folk Festival in 1999. I know it was 99 because that's the only time I've gone to the Kerrville Folk Festival. Heidi Muller said, you got to go see Eric Taylor. He was playing on the main stage. She was right. I had to go see Eric Taylor. Took me a while to figure out how he was doing his tuning. It's the double drop D thing. I've seen Eric do it since then. The last time I saw Eric, he's gone now. The last time I saw him was here in town. Nancy K. Dillon brought him to town. He was doing a house concert, I think in Ballard somewhere, and he was just playing along. You know, I was sitting in spitting distance. I was within spitting distance, kind of like you are now. I don't know if I can spit over the internet, but let me know. Let me know if I'm successful. And I requested this song. You know, he had asked for requests, and people were shouting out stuff. I waited till the rest of it died down, and I said, 2 Fires. He goes, 2 Fires? Yeah, I'll play 2 Fires. So I had that moment. I had that Eric Taylor moment. It's good to have an Eric Taylor moment in your life. Mr. Temporary is going to help me out.
There's a fire out on the mesa, and I'm an innocent man. I'm just burning holes in the sand. I'm burning my back roads on a 2-wheel run. Gonna turn 'em again when I'm done. We used to burn like Atlanta. Oh, we burned like the lonesome many young girls' eye. Where's the fire? Hey, what's the matter? 2 fires burning, burning one at a time. Well, there's a fire down on Scott Street in the pouring rain. Down on the corner, it's an 8-ball game. Well, he's burning his fingers, man, and he's burning his clothes. Somebody burned him, down he goes. He used to burn like Atlanta. Yes, he burned like the lonesome many young girls' eye. Where's the fire? Hey, what's the matter? 2 fires burning, burning one at a time. There's a fire at this hotel burning itself out. The only thing left burning here is coming out of my mouth. One flame's red, baby, and one flame's blue. Somebody get a fireman, get a fire into this room. We used to burn like Atlanta. Oh, we burned like the lonesome many young girls' eye. Where's the fire? Hey, what's the matter? 2 fires burning, burning one at a time. We used to burn like Atlanta. Oh, we burned like the lonesome many young girls' eye. Where's the fire? Hey, what's the matter? 2 fires burning, burning one at a time.
Thank you, Mr. Temporary. Mr. Temporary. Golly, Bob, howdy, Vern. What, Bill? What, Bill? What did you say, Bill? What was that you just said, Bill? Was that something you meant to say? Did you mean to say, poetry break, poetry break, poetry break, poetry break? It's live ammo around here, people. That's right. Not messing around. Not messing around. I had to dig deep. Ladies and gentlemen, to find some of that that high quality Bill Davie poetry. Oh my gosh. So we'll see how many of these I actually have the stones to read. At least a few. I want to read that one. I could read that one too. Interesting. Very interesting. Well, at least 3 or 4 of them. Starting with this one that's pretty recent. I got some old stuff in here too. It's kind of mixed bag. Didn't I mention that earlier? I meant it. I wasn't just kidding around. Okay. So this one's called Hopped Up on Leaves. Really? No, Kelly. Don't call me now. Hopped Up on Leaves, it's called. Hopped up on tinctures of weed, staring out over the parking lot. Not a single crow this Sunday morning. Perhaps they church elsewhere. The wind is dead. The fallen leaves blown into compost bins by a young man with a motor strapped to his back. Twice a week he comes to gather what the trees have given. Their offerings treated like fast food wrappers or empty Starbucks cups by a culture that can't tell the difference, while you read pandemic poems. Bleak pages, bleak window, 9 months in, and running out of ways to forget what the leaves told you. Yeah. This one's appropriate. It's called I Don't Want to Hurt. I don't want to hurt like this anymore. Light slants in, stars too close to the moon, and each step a stab. I could change my attitude, tell a few jokes, get folks chuckling, maybe that would ease it, make me feel more welcome on the ground like a familiar stone. Then I would know where I was going. The simple act of one foot in front of the other wouldn't seem so disorienting. It's gray there in the twilight. My bones are stacked against me, and the clock and the calendar play for the other side. You know, sometimes when it hurts, I just kind of get like that. I'm not always like that. Do I seem like that now? You'd tell me, right? This one's called A New Truth. The ringing in his ears sounds like birds. Maybe it's a call from heaven. It doesn't ask for response, only to be let in, past the critical guards, to a ghostly chamber where icons are housed. A place of imagination he thought was lacking in physical form. A new truth is sounding in there, where knowledge and spirit fight for the remote. The whole being vibrates with pleasure and receptivity past the barricades of fear and habit. Him to a bigger life, right where he lives. See, that wasn't bad. Let's go back 9 years, see what happened. This is when I was driving the school bus. This is before I became a dispatcher. Yeah, it's called The Cloud of Dust. Less than a month from now, I'll go back to work at a job I'm grateful to have. It's an imperfect job because it keeps me hungry, but perhaps it's perfect for the same reason. It's the job I've always looked for. Makes me want to do something else. But as an older person, there's a new kind of fear in this displeasure. Maybe I'm lacking the satisfaction that comes with knowing one has all the time in the world to improve his state. Or perhaps it's the knowledge that there is no career to return to when the economy recovers. That my aim through all this has been aimlessness. And that chickens, when they come home to roost, scratch and shit all over the fine weathered wood and make a brainless mess of things. The universe says I'm overdue at the poet's table. I've extended my apprenticeship long enough. It's time to free the doves, take up the mantle of the writer who didn't start publishing until his mid-50s, and who must then answer a question for the rest of his life as to what he was doing all those years. Give the aimlessness its due. printed out in sepia tone, with old brick buildings, alleyways, trash cans, fire escapes, clotheslines strung up between tenement windows, empty whiskey bottles, boxes of manuscript pages, artifacts saved up to build a legend through bleak years that had no direction, now blowing up behind like a cloud of dust. Could have read that better. Okay. 2 more. This one's from 2010. It's called Dream Note. It's kind of light. Let's just say it's light and kind of fluffy. Dream Note. I wondered whether any of it could be true. How those relatives around the table seemed to be of several different ethnicities. Who were these people? Who were they related to? And how did they all crowd so effectively into my early morning dream? You see, I'd gotten up to pee, and we'd been finding these large wood spiders in the bathroom lately, not biters, mind you, just big and scary, like a man's hairy hand surprisingly placed on your shoulder in the middle of the church service. But getting up to pee at 2:30, one barely attains full consciousness, so that, returning to bed, one's eyes closed and you're suddenly at some family dinner where an off-aunt, everyone thinks she's a lesbian, is taking your arm and walking you away from the others to ask what song you're planning to play at the ceremony. And you don't know about any ceremony, but make something up so as not to appear rude, and she looks at you like, what can you be thinking? But pulls your arm gently and points to her friend Irma, who she wants to introduce you to when the alarm goes off. Kind of weak there at the end, huh? Speaking of weak, here's another poem. This is from 2016. This is one of the ones I wrote after Jim Harrison passed away. I wrote a bunch about Jim Harrison because I was just completely immersed in his prose and poetry at the time that he passed. So that's why. This is called That Knowledge. Dreaming of Nebraska to honor the dead poet. He wasn't from there, but wrote as if he was. How does one become so perfectly steeped as to write like a native? He knew, and now that knowledge is lost. You could go there and eat dirt. You could walk out into the endless flat fields, but you'd need a local dog to avoid snake dens and find the hidden springs. That kind of familiarity doesn't interest the young. You'll need to read it all again, absorb his tough skin and rough voice. While you're at it, another hero will die, and the chanting, the hand-painted signs will rise again to announce the closing of another treasure trove. Your reading list will grow, your task of absorbing knowledge. You'll carry it forward, chanting it loudly in a rough voice, right up to the gates of oblivion, where you'll have to put it down. There you go, folks. That's the best I could come up with tonight. Was Langley listening? She was in my poetry class. Uh-oh. See, here's the thing. I'm trying to put this book together, right? And I want to do it. But whenever I'm putting a book together, I become more insecure than usual. Which, if you live with me, like certain appendages do, it can be quite irritating, I'm sure. But oh well. Time for some real poetry. Here's the book. This is brand new, just came out a while back. And it's an anthology. And it's got a lot of poets in it. A lot of poets. And they're arranged alphabetically. Only one, at the most 2 poems per poet. So you get a nice cross-section of stuff. So I'm going to start right at the beginning with Julia Alvarez. Her poem is called, How Will This Pandemic Affect Poetry? Will the lines be 6 feet apart? Will these hexameters be heroic like Homer's? Will each word have to be masked? Will there be poetry insecurity? Will there be enough poetry to go around? Will poems be our preferred form of travel? Will we undertake odysseys searching for Ithacas inside us? Will poetry go viral? Will its dis-ease infect us? Will it help build up antibodies against indifference? Will poems be the only safe spaces where we can gather together, enter their immense silences, see snakes slithering inside sestinas, listen to nightingales singing in the boughs of odes, hark a lark in the terza rima, a hawk in a haiku? What if only poetry will see us through? What if this poem is the vaccine already working inside you? This guy's from Tacoma. Rick Barrett is his name. He's written a long piece called During the Pandemic, and there's like 7 sections from that longer poem. Sorry, I told myself I was going to take these things out as I went. I've got my bookmark here where I am right now, and I'll leave that in there. So these are from During the Pandemic, Rick Barrett from Tacoma. During the pandemic, I watched the weather. The sky brought forth its clean clouds. The trees put forth their green like store awnings. You could go online and look at places in every weather. I loved best what was ours. Rain so hard it sounded like a crowd. Ours, like a postcard in the mail or the sparklers on a cake. It was spring, a rash season, then the sun on everything. The sun never knew how great it was, the architect said, until it hit the side of a building. That was section 2. Now we're going to section 5. During the pandemic, I noticed the pencils. One kept a window open a crack. Another held up the tendril growing out of the avocado seed in a cup. One waited on my nightstand next to a pad of hotel stationery. The hotel had been by the interstate cutting across the middle of the map. Driving from one end of the country to the other, I knew I was in the thick of my own story. I looked down to the lit hotel pool. Even though it was late, there were people there, caught in gestures that made me think of Pompeii. Now section 10. During the pandemic, I knew each neighbor by one thing. The neighbors above, the baby. The neighbors below, the dog. Someone down the hall, fried fish. Someone else down the hall, the opera when their door opened. I made my rooms quieter by standing in the middle of each one, my mind moving intently like an old man in slippers. I wondered what one thing the neighbors would know me by. What truth an inadvertence could betray. Sorry about that. Section 13. During the pandemic, I listened. Things hummed their tunes. The pear, the black sneaker, the old-fashioned thermometer, the stapler with the face of a general from Eastern Europe. Once, my father confessed he had taken the padlock from his factory locker and clipped it on the rail of a footbridge at the park. He had retired. The park was near his house. Each time he went there, I imagined him feeling pleased, going to work. Section 20. During the pandemic, I watched the screen of my phone as he moved his phone around the outboard engine he had brought inside, cleaning it, tinkering with it. The thing looked like sculpture, shiny in parts streaked with grease. He was states away. When his face returned to the screen, it was smudged from what he had been doing. "Don't touch your face," I lamely said, touching the screen, cut by the terms of our separation, adoration and sorrow, sweet and bitter. Section 27. During the pandemic, I went outside as into an abstraction, every body a vector, every public space a possible inflection point, the very air a moral injury. But there was no abstracting this. The bus driver died, the shoemaker, the chef, the playwright, the nurses and the doctors, the ambassador, the princess, the leader of the band, the scholar of Derrida. Finally, section 30. During the pandemic, I had days when I felt I was by myself on a shore drained of the tide, dragging a stick across miles of wet sand. There was also days when I was a boy again, sliding down a snowy hill on a flattened cardboard box, And there were days when I remembered the teacher who made us memorize a poem each week. And when we asked why, she said we might one day find ourselves in a wreck at the side of the road, and we would recite these poems to stay alive. Rick Barrett from Tacoma. Our good friend George Bill Gare is in here. Yeah. This one's called FaceTime. I'm just going to read a few more of these, okay? My wife and I sit out on the sun deck with our coffee every morning. Do you want to grill tonight, she asks, or should I make something? And if she cooked something last night, I'll say, you cooked something last night, so why don't I grill? And if I grilled last night, I'll say, I grilled last night, so why don't you cook something? And this conversation makes sense and is reassuring. Meanwhile, a coyote trotted down our boring little suburban street yesterday, right here in Cleveland Heights, like he owned the place. And I read that monkeys are ransacking shops in India, and jackals are wandering the streets of Tel Aviv, and water buffalo are just kind of standing around in the empty highways of New Delhi. While in the closed-down Tokyo aquarium, these tiny eels, garden eels they're called, are forgetting what we look like. The aquarium keepers are worried that the eels are getting lonely, and so they've hung iPads in the tanks, on the tanks. They ask on their website, could you please show your face to the eels from your home? And of course, everyone is phoning the eels, which makes sense and is reassuring. The sky is so blue the starlings can't bear to come down. The seas are so quiet that the whales, for once, can hear their songs of sorrow and desire. And as I stand in my driveway tonight grilling, I feel grateful to the eels. How nice of them to miss us after all we've done. Such magnanimity in a beast so small. I decide to give them a call. I wanted to get to a particular couple of poems, yes. Another Tacoma poet, recently transplanted to Tacoma. John Okrent is his name, and he's a friend of ours. John is married to Chayla Harridge Meyer, who is the daughter of Dick and Tammy Harridge Meyer, who are the owners of the Antique Sandwich Company in Tacoma, where Diane and I were married, and where the Victory Music Open Mic has happened for years and years and years. Bill, if you're following along, these are on page 112 and 113. So John is married to Chayla, and they have a daughter, Ula. And John is a doctor. He works at a clinic in Tacoma, and he also writes amazing poetry. Several of these were published in Poetry Northwest recently, and I was just flipping through this anthology this morning and found that John Okrent was in here too. This is a guy you're going to want to watch. He's going to have a book of his own soon if he doesn't already. He's written a series called the Corona Sonnets, and they're in date sequence. So I'll just read you a couple of these sonnets. These two are called 2 Days in March. March 18th, 2020. The color of lilacs, only darker. The clouds that cover the top of Mount Rainier like a shroud this evening. Another beautiful day. Disturbing to see so many people walking the waterfront as if the sky weren't burning. The fish market is closed. The cafe is closed. The bar is closed. The daffodils are heedless. Today, the first death in Tacoma. A woman in her 50s. Droplets cover me, probably. My neighbor veers. Conversation grows heavier by the word. In clinic, I don plastic face shield and gown of goldenrod when seeing a person under investigation. The nights are growing quieter. We no longer hear passenger trains, only freight trains, and fewer from our cabin. March 19, 2020. From our cabin, we keep the world. Home from clinic, I throw my clothes straight in the wash and jump in the shower before I touch my wife and daughter, which means she has to hide her so she doesn't see me first when I come in. What I bring home with me, mortality and an empty thermos. 160 new positives in King County. The number doubles by the day and will. And from the bureau last week's tulips bow their purple ludicrous heads. This may be the end of irony. The sky again so blue it could break from blueness. Sterilized, I hug my girls. In our cabin, we keep the world. John Okrent. O-K-R-E-N-T. Watch that name. Alrighty, folks, there you have it. Here endeth the reading, as it were. Are we doing okay? Is everybody all right? Really? I haven't offended everyone? Sorry. I'm going to get this book done, and we'll get it printed, and I'll make it available, and then I'll be able to go on with my life. In the meantime,
The way you look at the world, I know you're alone. I know you're only pretending to talk on the phone. Your friend uptown is a fiction. The face you're wearing's an addiction. The house you grew up in was nobody's home. Be someone else if you please. You buy an identity. Hairdos and outfits are all that they see. And you're suddenly better than me. You're better than me. The other night at the club was such an intricate scene. You bumped me off of the list, you bumped me out of a dream. I thought I saw some sincerity, but you were showing me charity. The cheesecloth reality was showing a scene. Be someone else if you please. And you buy an identity. Hairdos and outfits are all they've got time to see. And you're suddenly better than me. Better than me. You got more right to stand here. You got more right to talk to her. You got more right to do anything than anybody else here. You got more right to the espresso bar. You got more right to the Wi-Fi. You got more right to get up and sing songs about how sensitive you are. Because you look the part. You're the king of the art. Because you look the part. You're the king of the art. Because you look the part. You're the king of the art. Because you look the part.
Sorry, I probably should have introduced that song. That's my angry song. It's about an open mic I went to once and waited around from 6 o'clock until 11:45 to play, and then didn't get to play. Yeah, I was supposed to have the last set, and the guy before me bogarted my set. Yeah. So I went home and wrote that song for him. Went back and played it for him the next week. It's one of those perfect kind of little karmic, circles, which I enjoyed myself. I did. I enjoyed it. It's just the truth. A couple more for you, okay? Let's see. I think I can pull this one off. This one was written, I always forget to announce on this song that it was written in 1989. 1989 is when this song was written. So you got to keep that in mind.
Here comes Jason with his red rose tea. Here comes Ezra, he'll be looking for me. Down by the dumpster, down by the blowing debris. Gathered round the concrete tree. They're all looking for the temporary bed. Blankets from the stairwell, shoes from the dead. Rumor on the block say Ollie got a cave in his head. Wondered why his shirt was so red. Days are getting shorter, how can that be? Shots of Donald Trump keep me company. Myrtle's really sorry for the finger she broke. Used to take the bus, but now she's taking jokes. Hustling for newsprint, trying to get herself a new coat. Friendless at this end of her road. Andy couldn't yell 'cause Andy couldn't talk. Andy found some pizza in a Domino's box. We found him on the chain link down by the ferry boat docks, hanging like a bag full of rocks. Days are getting shorter, how can that be? Shots of Donald Trump keep me company. Missy's from the mission and Missy's okay. Just don't mention Jesus or she'll keep you all day. Jesus would have liked her, looking like an angel she prays. Don't hear much from Jesus these days. And here comes Jason with his red rose tea. Here comes Ezra, he'll be looking for me. Down by the dumpster, down by the blowing debris. Gathered round the concrete tree. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sirree, Barbarino. Yeah. Jamie Turner. Boy, that profile picture really pops. It's nice. I like that. How'd you do that?
Jamie, Monica, Cindy. My first student friends, they can all sing like birds too. They're going to sing along on this next one. I'm going to close with this one tonight, folks. This is the AARP theme song. Some of you, I'm sure you've heard of it. No, possibly not. Let's see if I remember it, shall we? You gotta join in at the end. I'll let you know where. We're getting shorter, we're getting wider. No, we're not fatzos, we're only older. We've got no fashions, though we've got rock stars. We aren't dead yet, where will we go? We're educated with lots of skill sets. We still work real hard without a pension. We don't appear on corporate websites. We aren't dead yet, where will we go? We built the roads you drove into work on. They're looking crumbly, maybe we could fix them. Our greener pastures need irrigation. We aren't dead yet, where will we go? We are your fathers, we are your mothers, your aunts and uncles, your parents' cousins. We cook the food for Thanksgiving dinner. We aren't dead yet, where will we go? You won't look at us when we wear swimsuits. You'd rather not hear about our sex lives. One day you'll be us, that's some small comfort. We aren't dead yet, where will we go? Ready to sing? Your verse is coming around. I'll show you, I'll run you through it once first, okay? Here we go. These are my people, I walk among them. I share their neck pains, their bladder problems. We could get louder, we've got the numbers. We aren't dead yet, where will we go? Got it? These are my people, I walk among them. I share their neck pains, their bladder problems. We could get louder, we've got the numbers. We aren't dead yet, where will we go? I didn't hear you, let's do it again. These are my people, I walk among them. I share their neck pains, their bladder problems. We could get louder, we've got the numbers. We aren't dead yet, where will we go? We could get louder, we could get louder. We've got the numbers. We aren't dead yet, where will we go? We could get louder, we could get louder. We've got the numbers. We aren't dead yet, where will we go? We aren't dead yet, we aren't dead yet, where will we go? Once more now. We aren't dead yet, where will we go? Yes, big finish, big finish. I saved the most literary tunes to the very end, so that people will respond to the inherent poeticness therein, and therewith and thereto. Oh my goodness, people. Well, you suffered through another hour in the treehouse. with Mr. Pain Guy. Yeah, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I would rather be doing this than just sitting around complaining. And I think there's several other people here in this house who also would prefer that I do this rather than sitting around and complaining. Yeah. Are there several other people in this house? Few of them are my own personalities. You know, I keep them over there out of sight, kind of tucked in behind the guitar cases and over in that corner too, where my yoga mat is and stuff like that. Is my yoga mat still there? Yeah, good. Anyway, is there anything else I can do for you? I wish I could do more. I really do. I wish I was playing better, but I'm working at it. You know, I am practicing, and hopefully these guys will settle their differences. I got a feeling the whole thing starts up here somewhere, but you know, I can work that out in therapy sessions. Anybody wants to get together and work with me, if you have some credentials or something, I would appreciate it. In the meantime, I'm going to trust you guys to take care of each other and stuff like that. I'm going to take care of the hand. I'm going to make sure the hand is happy. I hope I think the hand is happy. And we'll meet back here again next week, and we'll try this whole thing again. You know, same songs, different week. What do you say? Okay. Thank you for coming. See you next time.